You ready? You're a wolf chasing a rabbit, but the chase has just begun. You can run to the horizon, but you'll never catch the sun. Rabbit ran into the lion's den, and now the wolf is done. Now you're looking for your gun, and she said, run.
Run, run. Table turning, now we see that you're the one. It ain't no fun. Run, 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 run.
It ain't no fun. You can run to the horizon, but you'll never catch the sun. Rabbit ran into the lion's den, and now the wolf is done.
When the rabbit's got the gun.
I told you. What up? Mike here. I'm the creator, author, illustrator, etc. All things for Rabbit Comics. And this is our second show, and we're really excited. This is the Department Files episode 2. And so if you haven't tuned into the first episode, the Department Files is it's a book, but it's also a podcast where we discuss a character per episode, and just kind of Law picks a character at random from the book and will just ask me random questions about that character and how these characters came to be. So welcome. If you tuned in to the first episode, then you already know that we covered kind of like what the department is and just a generalized overview. And so this episode is going to be pretty cool because Law's going to pick a character. I already know who the character is. And yeah, we're just going to talk about it. So what's up, Law?
Hey.
How you doing?
I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm excited for today.
I am excited for today.
I am.
Yeah.
I love these characters.
Oh, thank you.
Especially
Well, I mean,
the one that's
she's biased.
Loosely inspired by me.
Yes. So if you don't have the book, you can order it. It is on Amazon if you want to follow along. Please just note that the books do not have page numbers because I was too focused on editing and making sure that everything was spelled correctly and grammatically correct. It just was a brief oversight. So you're not going to be able to follow along per page number. But we know what the character is, and you can just flip to that character in the book if you choose to follow along.
Hid my dreams to ease the pain, hoping love would remain. In trying to save what we had, I let go of what made me glad. Wrong sacrifices, heart undone. A love once bright came undone. But from the ashes that came from the hurt, I now see a chance to grow, to be set free. With lessons learned and strength inside, a brighter path will be my guide. I found a voice inside that I left behind. I reclaimed a peace within my mind. To love is to give, and I must keep. Now I walk with an open heart, ready for a brand new start. Knowing love's a two-way street, where respect and kindness are valued. I would love to meet.
So today's character is
Hammerhead. AKA Donnie's Thomas.
Donnie's Thomas, that's right. So yes, Hammerhead was loosely inspired by Law.
Yeah.
And so when we met, that's this book I was kind of still working on. I hadn't even started illustrating anything, and I had just come up with these characters, and I was trying to figure out like who was going to be in the founding 7 and who even were the founding 7 and were there 7 or 8 or 9 or however many members. And when I met Law, we connected over, we bonded really over like X-Men and that kind of just sort of that nerdy stuff. And I just never thought that somebody like her would be into it. And I was like, "You into this?" And she was like, "Yeah." I was like, "What?" And so anyway, so I asked her if she would like to be a sort of a character, an inspired character in the book. She said yes. We chose telekinesis, and Hammerhead was born.
Mm-hmm.
And fun fact, Hammerhead's name in the book, in the world of Rabbit, Hammerhead's first name is Law's middle name.
Yeah.
So
love it.
Yeah.
So I'll just ask you a couple questions and
you reading upside down?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was trying to show them the
No, I
pictures.
got it. I know. I understood. Yeah. She was going out for y'all's benefit, but
Yeah,
you don't even have to do that. If you just buy the book, you have it for yourself at home. There
exactly.
you go.
We just won't know what page number it's on.
Exactly.
Oh, so tell us your inspiration behind this character. Like, what made you want to call her Hammerhead, first of all?
Yeah. So obviously my inspiration behind the character loosely was you and just you wanting to be represented in a comic book. And so what I pulled from, because the character doesn't necessarily look like Law. She has a short blonde bob, but her style, her confidence, she's a boss. She just kind of has this attitude about her, and that is what's inspired by Law. The name Hammerhead actually is, so it's a almost like a, I don't know. It's not an entendre, obviously, but it's a callback to. So Hammerhead's abilities are, she's a telekinetic, which means that you move things with your mind, right?
Hmm.
Head, mind, head, whatever. And so she's also a shark in business, and
Hmm.
so she's really good at her business, and she, is about her money, and she is, she dominates in the industries that she's within. And so Hammerhead is kind of a nod to both her telekinetic abilities, and her business acumen, and sort of her sort of sly, um, domineering prowess in the businesses that she runs within the city.
I love that. So, where did you come up with the idea of how you wanted to dress her?
Um,
Because I feel like the outfits are always very important for the superhero
yeah,
or villain.
right. No, you're right. Her outfit. So I wanted her to. I wanted. So she has to dress. She's a club owner. She's a lounge owner. She's
Hmm.
a business. She's a business lady. She's a businessman. She's a businesswoman, and so she has to look a certain way for her job. She is a obviously a superpower individual in the world of Rabbit, and she does have these abilities, but she doesn't. She does have um, like a superhero costume, but the reason why I wanted her depicted in this adaptation specifically in like a fur and like heels and like a one piece and like with like big hoop earrings is because more often than not she's in a club. More often than not she's like shaking hands with like some politician or trying to like get some money for one of her businesses. And so she dresses kind of like the business that she runs.
So it's
And
like the
so she's in
kingpin
it
version of her.
exactly. So
Yeah.
she's like a kingpin exactly of her in the world that she's in. She's also urban. And so she's not going to be, you're not going to see her in like you know, a pantsuit and a cane. You know what I mean? And I'm
Right.
thinking of Kingpin when I say that, because she's a little bit more urban.
Hmm.
So for her, it's giving like, yes, I'm intelligent and yes, I'm put together, but this is her version of put together. And she's still just as rich. She has the fur, she has the gold, she has, all of the things, the cars, the houses, and whatever. But yeah, that's so she dresses though like a nightclub owner. She walks into a nightclub in November in this city and it's snowing outside and she needs a big huge fur and she walks in and she's the boss. Everybody knows who she is.
Period.
She's not even coming in through the front door. Like yeah, like that's just her attitude. And
I
so that's
love it.
yeah.
And then, like, how did you end up deciding to put her in the founding seven? Like,
So I knew well. So two reasons. So number one, Law loves villains. Okay, so that was one of the first reasons. I was like, as soon as I learned that about you, and you told me that you wanted to that you were okay with being depicted, I was like, well, instantly she's going to be a villain.
Mhm.
But I also wanted you to be a resilient figure, like somebody of prominence, not just like some throwaway villain like Toad or like
Right.
Avalanche.
Hmm.
Which, by the way, no shade to any Toad or Avalanche enthusiasts, but they are kind of like B level villains, right? Like I really
Definitely.
wanted her to be like captain of the team. Like she's an A tier. She's like the like, oh, okay, if you messing with her, like you're in it.
Hmm.
And so that's how I decided to make her a villain. To put her on the founding seven as opposed to just her being like her own standalone villain, it just kind of made sense. She has telekinesis is a very strong ability.
Hmm.
And she also has this like really thick, tough skin, which is both figurative and literal. And so also again like a shark, so like a hammerhead or any shark really, if you touch them the wrong way, it's very rough. If you touch them the other way, then it's like kind of like slick, and kind of like dry almost. And so um, that the decision to put her on the founding seven was, it almost was kind of like, I mean she has to be like like in her world, if you think about this character, she's going to always want to be the prominent. She's going to always want to be at the top of her game in whatever game that she's playing. So it just makes sense to put her on the Founding Seven because in this world of Rabbit, that is kind of like the pinnacle of villainy. She also doesn't think of herself as a villain. She thinks of herself as a shrewd businesswoman who uh, would often say things in my mind when I'm creating this character like, oh, well, if a man could do it, like, or if a man did this, he would, be called this. But because I'm doing it and I'm a woman, and so she does kind of have this air of confidence and maybe a little arrogance, but like, also it's deserved because she's just the boss. So yeah, so that's where she comes from, or that's where I got the idea to place her on the founding seven, and she kind of juxtapositions um, with Cyrus, because Cyrus is uh, though he's a, look, I just said he. Though Cyrus is um, typically depicted in the world of Rabbit as it, because it's a being that's not human, and so essentially it's a character outside of the binary. Cyrus is referred to in the world of Rabbit more often than not as he, him pronouns, right? And Cyrus goes by all pronouns. Cyrus, I mean, in a snap of a finger, he now all of a sudden is presenting female presenting, and it just is what it is. Kind of like Mystique. But because Cyrus typically goes by those he him pronouns and presents as a sort of a patriarchal figure for the department, I wanted an anchor. I wanted a bookend to that, and so initially it was going to be a Nancy, but it kind of makes more sense that it's Hammerhead just because of the business side of things, and she can kind of like launder money and kind of like fund um, some of their endeavors, and making sure that the lights are on, so to speak, literally because she's making the money that pays for the stuff that they do, and weapons and whatever else. So like it all comes through her. And so where Cyrus is kind of like the patriarch and just kind of like domineering political aspiration um, figure in the department head or in the department, she is the equivalent of that, but female. So matriarchal.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And she kind of like plays like this like bullshitty like mothering kind of like oh just like come to me, and she's very conniving and very manipulative.
Gotcha.
But I mean she's a villain, so
you gotta have that in somewhere.
Yeah.
One of my favorite parts of the illustrations is her popping this gum.
Yeah.
So what made you want to put that in there? What's the significance of that?
I mean, really, she's just really confident, and it's just kind of it's just like a um, it's just like a it's like a literal manifestation of somebody who doesn't care. Like when you think about like old school like 80s movies, or like kind of like the Mean Girls, like always like kind of chewing gum, like blowing bubbles and just like like whatever, like you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, and so it's just very it's just a nod towards to like her arrogance and just kind of her confidence and how sure she is that like you are not a threat to me.
Yeah.
So I just wanted her to have like just kind of she's also kind of just like playful because she's typically on the winning side of things. So it's almost like a how like Harley Quinn is like cracking jokes about like as she's like throwing a dagger at you. Right. It's kind of like that. It's kind of like a playful, kind of like a oh look what we have here, blows bubble and then like throws like launches a F-150 at you.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that sort of thing.
Yeah. So yeah, I love the personality in it though.
Thank you. Yeah, sure. Yeah, she's dope. Well, she's based on you, so I shouldn't say based on. She's inspired by Lala. Is sweet. She's not a villain. What do you do? She goes like this all the
time. Yeah. No.
She's sweet. She's not a villain.
All right. Well, that's all the questions I have today.
Cool.
So don't forget to go to Amazon and get you a copy
Yes,
There's a
Rabbit.
lot of characters in here, so
There
you want to
are.
get into them.
Rabbit the Department Files. It's 104 pages. It's full color every single page, and I worked really hard on this book. Also, the other two properties are on Amazon as well. We have the very first book, which is just aptly called Rabbit, but on Amazon it's Rabbit: Rise of Cyrus Part One, and then this is Rabbit: Along Came a Moth. And they are both really really cool, and I showed them this past May or June at Phoenix Fan Fusion, which is essentially our Comic Con here. So it's really cool. So check me out. The books are on Amazon. Thank you. We'll see you next episode. Peace.